A good photographer is someone who notices things that others might not.
What has being a photographer and interacting with people taught you about gratitude?
I think of gratitude as an awareness. It's a frame of mind, right? It's a frame of mind. It's a way of seeing, and you have to be conscious of it. You have to deliberately choose those kinds of things. And I think as a photographer, a good photographer is someone who notices things that others might not. You say, hey, I'm going to direct your attention to this important element. And so it's the same, noticing, paying attention, being deliberate, and being grateful is noticing, paying attention, being deliberate, and focusing on a certain thing.
I love that. I had someone on the podcast who talked about, I think quoting somebody else, and I don't remember who, but it's on another podcast, that an artist is a professional noticer.
Ooh.
Artists are professional noticers.
Yeah, I like that.
And you did that, but you said three things that it wasn't, you're aware, you notice. What were those three things you just said again?
Being deliberate and paying attention and some other insightful word.
There you go. It's on video. We got it.
Yeah, I don't remember. But artist is a professional noticer. That's really great. And I have said that I get paid to see. A similar thing. I get paid to see.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're good at seeing. I love that. And so here's what I thought. So is there anything that you can think of, experiences in your life that were really challenging?
Nice mug, by the way.
You like the mug? There. Thank you. I tried to choose something that looks nice.
Oh, it's very cool and heavy. Okay. Challenges in my life.
So have you gone through anything difficult?
Yeah, of course.
For which you're now grateful?
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about?
That's such a great question, because on my way here, as I was thinking about gratitude and the whole topic of this thing, by the way, this is so perfect for you. I feel like you're the right guy to be doing this thing. I'm so glad you're doing this podcast. It's very cool. So when I was driving here and I was thinking about gratitude, the easy ones are low-hanging fruit of things that are like good, like positive things, like it's a beautiful day. I'm so thankful that we have the view of these mountains and, that I'm healthy. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, here is kind of a slug to the gut that I'm so grateful for. I'm going to try to go fast through this. But when I was in college, I got a job in a parking booth. And it was a great job. I was an English major, like I said. So it was a great job because I could go there and read and write. And English majors, that's what you do, is you write a ton. Was your undergraduate English?
No, it was Latin American Studies.
Okay, so you probably had a ton of writing and reading. A ton
of reading and language and stuff, but it wasn't English.
So in English, your English major, you write a ton, read a ton. And the booth was perfect. I could go there and get all that done. Well, at some point, the manager quit. And so they asked if I wanted to manage these lots. And it was great in one way because, I had a regular salary and, insurance and all that. But then when I graduated from college, I stayed there for a little while. And this was during that time that I was really starting to ramp up photography, like figure it out. And I devoted all my time. This is great. I only had to work 4 hours a day in the booth, but I was getting paid, 8 hour for an 8 hour day. So it gave me so much time to work on photography. And there was another guy who worked in the booth. He had the shift before me. And when I would come to the booth, I would show him these books that I had checked out of photographers, and I would show him the prints that I had just made in the darkroom the night before. And he was such a great friend in that he was really interested and encouraging. And he wanted to know about the photographers and why do you like this one? And tell me about this picture. What do you think this means? And so he was really encouraging. And one day, and he knew I wanted to be a photographer. Now, at this point now, I'm like, okay, I want to do photography as a way to make a living. So he was aware of that. And one of the photographers I told him about was a guy named Chris Buck, who was, I liked him then and I still do. He's still a working photographer, advertising, editorial. And so one time this kid in the booth, Brian, said to me, hey, what do you think Chris Buck did today? And I said, I don't know. I don't have any idea. And he said, well, I don't know either, but I bet he didn't work in a parking booth. And
Oh,
it was a real slug to the gut, but it was a great wake up. It was a great wake up. I think Brian was tired of hearing me talk about doing stuff and to mention everyone else, but not me, and not talk about what I was doing. And, you know, we have the life we focus on, right? And he was saying, what kind of life do you want? Do you want a parking booth lot or parking booth life? Or do you want something else?
yeah.
And it was painful. It was so painful, that awareness. But my gosh, I'm glad he said it. So anyway, to answer your question, there's a painful thing that I'm so grateful for.